Hi.
Hi, how are you, Mr. Roland?
Thank you. And what should I call you? Islam?
Islam, yes.
Islam. Thank you, Islam. Um, are you from Saudi Arabia?
No,
Turkey.
no. Is my voice and camera on? Is okay?
Very good. Yeah. A very good sound, good connection, and the video is also very good.
Because I feel that there is a delay or something like that. But if it is okay, it's okay. No, no problem.
I hear you very well, and I don't sense a delay unless there's a delay of you hearing me. That could possibly be, but you sound very good.
Great. Okay. I'm not from
Okay,
Saudi Arabia. I'm not from Turkey. I'm from Egypt. Are you
Egypt.
familiar with Egypt?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm familiar with Egypt. Yes. E-
great.
Of,
Uh,
of,
I saw your profile.
yes, continue. Go ahead, tell me.
Okay, I saw in your profile video that you are from America, living near to Canada,
That's correct.
and I read that you have been in Poland
Yes, November.
last November, last
Yes,
year.
yes.
Well, I'd like to hear about your experience there.
Oh, okay. Okay. But let me, so I get, now I understand the reasons why you came to me, why you selected me. And so thank you, Islam, for joining me today. This is where I live, and you are my
Yeah,
guest.
yeah, the warm house.
Thank, thank you. And so I I went to Poland with a company that's called Angloville.
Anglo
Angloville.
Bill.
Angloville. Yeah, and what they do is that they in Eastern Europe and Central Europe, they do uh, they provide English instruction largely for people who already know some English. They know some English. They're not beginners. They know some English. And I go as a volunteer in this particular case. I went as a volunteer, so I have to pay for my own way there. And
Wow, so
but
you
when
really get from them.
when I get there, they give us hotel and they give us and food 3 times a day. And so
Mm.
and Poland is the exchange rate between the US dollar and the Polish zloty is very good. So it didn't cost me a lot of money out of my
How
own
long?
pocket. I was there, let's see, I left on a Wednesday night from Newark, New Jersey, and I arrived on a Thursday afternoon, and I had rented. Now, the involvement with Angloville didn't begin until Sunday. So I arrived Thursday. I had rented an Airbnb room, an apartment. So I was all by myself in Krakow, Poland, and just walking around and eating and drinking and uh, looking at places, finding my way around. So that was Thursday. Friday, I did the same thing. Saturday, I was by myself. Uh, Sunday, all of the English speakers, all of the native English speakers, there were 21 of us. We gathered at one square in Krakow, and there was a bus that was going to pick us up and take us to the hotel. And I think there were 7 Polish learners who were on the bus also. And then we took a bus for about.
So you have stayed there for a week, maybe a week?
12 days. I was there for 12 days.
12 days, just like fortnight.
I was there for a few days before the classes, and I stayed the weekend after the classes.
Okay, now, what are the landmarks at Poland that you have seen?
In Krakow. Well, in Krakow itself is the Barbican. The Barbican is a many years old, hundreds of years old fortress. It's a
Barbican, because I'm not familiar with this word.
That's the name of the Polish name for this, and it's a fortress. It was the protection for the old town of Krakow. It was the main defensive point of the old town of Krakow. I think it goes back to the 1500s.
Wow, it's too old.
Yeah, it was old. But now, Islam, there's Krakow, from what I understand, has the largest square in all of Europe, the largest square, and it has buildings all around it. One of those, the most prominent, is a church called, I think it's, if I remember correctly, it's St. Stephen's, and it's
where?
A church.
In the square itself?
On the outskirts, on the edges of it, on the periphery of the square, and it's just one portion of the buildings that completely surround this square. And on weekdays,
a portion,
a piece of, a part of.
Portion, part of, yeah. It's like it's like a word from business, trading, stuff like this. Yeah, I think I have.
A portion could also be on an airline. When you're on an international flight, sometimes you think the portions of food that they give you is small. So a portion of food, what amount of food that you get, that can also be a portion.
A portion of food. What amount of food?
Yeah, what amount? Boy, I went to a restaurant in Krakow, and I paid this much money, and I got a large portion of pierogi and kielbasi and sauerkraut. Yeah,
this is
a very generous portion, a large portion.
But you paid money.
But because the dollar is trading so well against the Polish Zloty, I mean, for one US dollar, I think it's 3.83 Polish Zloty.
Ooh, it's too much.
So I don't spend a whole lot.
$10 means that you can get 33.
One US dollar, 3.83 Zloty.
Zloty.
Yep, that's
so.
$1 US equals the 1 Polish Zloty. So it was a good exchange rate. It was a good exchange rate.
Yeah, it's good. the Polish currency is Zloty.
Yeah, Zloty.
Zloty.
You know what I use Islam for currency exchange rates? XE.com.
I use it by myself on my phone. Yeah, it's a good one. It's giving you updates every minute.
Every
Great.
minute.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I got
so. You know, and I live. My wife is Canadian, and so I lived in Montreal for 3 years.
Montreal.
Yeah, Montreal, Canada, and
Yeah.
so but I was working in the United States. Close to the border. So I was working in the U.S. but living in Canada.
So you have been working in the US but living in Canada. So you are traveling daily or what?
Yeah, exactly. But the thing, yeah, but the thing is, I was aware of exchange rates because my money, when I was working in Canada, I worked for the federal government. I worked for the Internal Revenue Service. And so my salary would be direct deposited into Bank of America.
Okay.
Then I would go to Scotiabank in Montreal, Scotiabank. I would go to Scotiabank and get a withdrawal from Scotiabank. There was no out of network fees, so I would get the exchange.
Yeah, so in America they have dollars. In Poland they have zloty. In Canada is what?
Dollars, Canadian dollars.
Canadian dollars, and one USA dollar equal to how?
Well, right now it's about a 135, I would guess. One US dollar equals $1.35 Canadian.
Yeah.
When I bought I bought a loft in the city of Montreal where we lived. When I bought the loft, the exchange rate was like this.
Okay.
It was very good. So if the home that I bought cost this much, you can do the calculation and you can see how much it really cost me in US dollars. So it was a good time to buy.
It's a good time to buy. Yes, you're right about this. The difference in what exchange from time to time, it gives you big difference in the rate of money you're changing into your original or hometown money.
Right. So what I would do is I would go to Scotiabank, get the Canadian dollars out, get the exchange right there. Then I'd go down the street to CIBC. CIBC, they were our mortgage holders. They held our mortgage. So I would make a deposit into CIBC and then be able to pay the mortgage electronically. So that's what I had to do in order to get my money from US dollars into cash and then deposit in another bank in order to pay the mortgage.
And you didn't lose anything. You didn't lose money in exchange. This is good. No. This is smart.
Oh, it was a very good time to buy in Canada with US dollars and to continue to pay in Canada with US dollars.
You got the benefit of both, which is good.
but now here's where I then moved back to the U.S. in 2008, and my wife came with me about a year later, and so we were landlords for 2 years. We rented our apartment for maybe a little over 2 years. We rented it, and we had great tenants, two women consecutively, a single woman and then another single woman, and then we finally sold it in 2012. Now I made a profit, very, very handsomely. I did very well. The thing is, the exchange rate when I sold it was less than what I had
What you had before.
So
Yeah.
I had to pay tax on like $6,000 or $7,000
In America.
that it was, yeah, in American, right? But that was all right. I mean, I'm not complaining. We did very well anyway. So tell me, it's like,
After all, you got profit out of it, right?
yes, yes, I absolutely did. Let me ask you something. What
Yeah.
do you do what is your job?
I teach English, by the way.
Well, because your English level is quite good.
Thank you. This is a kind of certificate for me.
You know what I'm doing now? I mean, I have a TEFL certificate. You know, teaching
Yeah.
the far left. Right now I'm taking the Cambridge English online course for teaching IELTS.
Yeah, I know IELTS. Yeah.
Well, I'm taking the online course now, how to teach it.
Great. This is a good move.
Well, you know what? I thought, I am retired. Matter of fact, between you and me, I'm going to be 65 tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
But I'd like to tell you something that it's not going to be between you and me from now on, because I'm used to upload my Cambly videos on YouTube. So the whole world will know that tomorrow you will be.
I'm retired. I'm retired from the New Jersey State Police. I did that for 27 years. And then I went to work for the IRS. You know who the IRS is?
IRS.
IRS.
I have heard this, but I'm not sure what is it. Internal Revenue.
That's the tax administration, tax collecting agency for the U.S. government.
You have been working in good position.
Well, I retired from the state police in 2002, and I retired from the IRS in May of 2016. And so I don't have a job now, except I do sometimes go for substitute teaching when the school needs me.
Yeah.
And I do this because I get a chance to meet interesting folks like you from other parts of the world.
So when you go to school, what problems do you face there?
Well, I'm going to tell you, Islam. The school that I'm working with now, there's two classes that I go as a substitute teacher's assistant. So I'm not the teacher; I'm a teacher's assistant. And the classes that I go to are for young children who are troubled, who have learning disabilities, emotional disabilities like that. I mean, I could show you my arm. I got bit about a month ago, right here. A kid about 12 years old started running around, turning desks over, and he tried to run out the side door, and I got in his way, and I put my arms around him like this, so his head was in here, and he went like that.
He wanted you.
And then as another teacher's assistant was pulling him away, he went like this. He didn't get me. He just grazed me. He didn't really get a good shot there. But the bite, he also had a cast on. He had a cast on his arm, and he hit one of the other teacher's assistants in the head, and she wound up with a concussion.
Actually, dealing with such cases, I'm sure that handling this is tough. But
Islam, they call me because I'm one of the only people who will go into those classes.
Because you can bear this, because you can handle this.
It's because I'm patient, because I know that no one else will go, and then they would be one person short, and you need really, in many cases, well, you never know when you're going to need everybody. Sometimes you can get by and be missing one person, but when everything goes wrong, then you wish you had everybody.
I'm a little bit interested. Of course, you are married. You have your wife there, right? Still there.
Yeah, I'm also a grandfather.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to ask you. So you have how many sons? Daughters?
I have two daughters who are 37 and 35.
Wow, they are too young. Yeah, and you're now you are a grandfather. Girls or boys?
I have a granddaughter about 2.5, and her brother is 6 months.
Wow, they are too young.
Well, see, I was there last week for the whole week, and get a chance to babysit for them while their parents go to work, and
Are they living nearby you?
No, I have to drive 6 hours to get to see them. Yeah.
I'd like to ask you something. Once I was using Cambly, and when I started the chat with a tutor, and she asked me, like, it's a question like from where? She said where about. So can I use where about to ask you where are you from? Place?
Yeah. Yes. Whereabouts are you? Whereabouts are you from? Yes, you can say that, absolutely.
I heard it before, and it just come across to my mind to ask you again. To ask you now, is it correct? I got it right?
Yeah. Whereabouts?
Such words we don't study at our schools. We don't teach inside our curriculum. That's what I'm like to know and learn from tutors like you, from people like you on Cambly.
Islam, you know what I'm going to do when we're done? I'm going to send you a list of they're called phrasal verbs.
Yeah, I know phrasal verb, a verb plus preposition, which is giving you a new meaning. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, do you want the list? I'll send you the list anyway.
I'm eager to learn. Yeah.
Okay, I'll send you the list, and
grateful.
Yeah.
Thank
you. See, I live in northern New York, very north New York. New Jersey is about 6 hours away. That's where I'm from, New Jersey. That's where I grew up. That's where my children were born.
Jersey in American movies a lot.
New Jersey?
Yeah.
What's Sopranos?
No, I'm not sure about the names there, but it's like LA, California, New Jersey, Miami.
Okay. Miami.
NY. All these words. Yeah.
What grades do you teach?
What?
What age group children do you teach?
I teach two stages, intermediate and high school.
Intermediate, is that maybe middle school, 12 years old, 13, 14?
It's like middle school. Yeah, you're talking about grade 6, 7, 8, 9.
Right.
So we're talking about ages between 11, 12, 13, this average.
Now, tell me about your family.
Um, I have a lovely wife. I got two sons, Ahmed and Muhammad.
Ahmed and Muhammad.
Yeah, the elder one is 5 years, and Muhammad is about 3 years from now. Yeah, is close to 3 years. Yeah.
That's I. There is nothing better. There is nothing better or more important for a man than to be a father, to be a dad.
Yeah.
It's one of the best things ever.
You know, I have learned this since the birth of my first son, of Ahmed. Now I know what my father and my mother suffered through my whole life with them. Now I got it. I got this famous line. Oh my God, you did suffer. How did you manage this the whole time? Being annoyed, naughty, being lazy, not listening to or not obeying everything you're doing. Oh, they suffered. I confess, I was a bad boy.
So, do you also have brothers and sisters? Do you have brothers and sisters?
I got a brother and I got a sister. Yeah,
And I have two brothers and one sister.
yeah.
But and we live all over. I mean, I live in northern New York. My sister lives in Massachusetts and Cape Cod. I have another brother who lives in Florida. I have another brother who lives in North Carolina.
Wow. And do you meet usually? Do you have a time to
Very,
get together?
very difficult.
You know, this
Uh,
is a point that Arab world is different from the Eastern world is different from the Western one. Like, yeah, we here in the Arab world, yeah, we are together. We visit each other. We live nearby. We always keep communicated with each other. And actually, I can see from not from your story, other stories too. The Western, you are Western from for me.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
People, European people, uh, I can see that every one of you has or set goals and he go for getting them.
Yeah.
But I can see that from the other part, he is tearing his life into parts with his family. He is abandoning his family totally. I'm not sure if I'm right or not, but I can see from different stories that you are all the same. I'm not
I'm not
making trying to be more generalization about making generalization about this, but I can figure it out from this.
okay. I understand your observation. I think your selection of the word abandon is
Not,
is
I'm
not is not that is, there's a negative connotation. There's a it's abandon's not the right word. But
yeah.
right, so together, I'm learning American Sign Language
Mm.
to speak with the deaf.
Oh, this is good. You know, this is the first time to know the name of this language.
I could
Some
teach you. I could teach you.
maybe in another video, I'll make sure to learn it from you.
Actually, YouTube Islam, YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, that's where I'm learning YouTube.
Still, I will get everything from you next time, inshallah, by God's
I'm
will.
I'm gonna send phrasal verbs. Nice to meet you.
I will upload this episode on YouTube. Is it okay?